4 formats, 4 contestants, each hoping to win the Quiz Omnium.
Welcome to the third of 4 contests in the Quiz Omnium. Our contestants are Anne, Ian, Joey, and Michael. So the Quiz Omnium standings going into this match are: Ian is in the lead with 13 points, Michael has 12 points, Joey has 10, and Anne has 6. This quiz is called CRYPTIC. Competitors, you have 16 topics to choose from. Each round, you answer questions on the buzzer to win the right to pick a topic. Over the course of 4 rounds, you'll pick 4 topics. The names of the topics can be cryptic, so you have to use your judgment to decide where your best chances of scoring points are. If you get a question wrong, your opponents can buzz in and try to pick up a bonus point, but beware players, an incorrect buzz will cost you a point. At the end of the contest, the player with the most points will win the match and score 10 points towards the Quiz Omnium title. Second will get 6, third will get 3, and last will get none. Contestants, are you ready to play CRYPTIC?
Yes.
Hair Love, the winner of the Best Animated Short Film Academy Award in 2020, recently released an audio version narrated by which daughter of Beyonce and Jay-Z? And Michael buzzed in first.
Blue Ivy.
Blue Ivy is correct. So Michael, you get the first pick of the topics. What would you like to pick?
None of them. I'm hoping that Ben and Jerry is about people called Ben and Jerry rather than the ice cream. So I'm going to try that one.
Comedian and actress Anna Mira was the wife and mother of actor-comedians with which surname?
Stiller.
Stiller is correct. Your second question, Michael. Jerry Stiller played Wilbur Turnblad in a 1988 comedy film and Mr. Pinky in the 2007 musical remake of that film. What was the title of both films?
Hairspray.
Is correct. In 2004, Ben Stiller was nominated for a Razzie for 5 of the 6 films he appeared in that year. The only film he wasn't nominated for was which film that also starred Robert De Niro and Dustin Hoffman?
88 Minutes.
Incorrect. Do I have a buzz from anybody? Anne has buzzed in.
Meet the Fockers?
Is correct. So we are back on the buzzers. Michael, you've had your pick for this round, so you're out. The rest of you are still in. Second question. Which opera by Mozart has a title which can be translated into English as All Women Are Like That? And Joey, you just beat Ian on the buzzer there.
Così fan tutti.
Così fan tutti is correct. You have the second pick of this round.
Let's go All Greek to me.
On the 1st of March 2002, which former Greek currency ceased to be legal tender 2 months after the adoption of the euro?
Drachma.
Is correct. And your second question, which Ethiopian queen bragged that she was more beautiful than the Nereids, an action which resulted in her daughter Andromeda being chained to a rock as a sacrifice to the sea monster Cetus?
Cassiopeia.
Is correct. On your third question, Joey, Harmodius and Aristogeiton are collectively known by what name?
Tyrannosides.
Oh, yep. No faffing around there, Joey. Yes, that is correct. That's 3 points to you. Ian and Anne, you're now back on the buzzer. The Giant's Causeway and Fingal's Cave on the island of Staffa are formed from which volcanic rock? And Ian, you're buzzed in.
Basalt.
Is correct. Yes, Ian, you're in. So what would you like to pick?
Walls. Why not?
Walls. Ian, you have 3 questions on members of the organisation European Walled Towns. So your first question. Meppen is the only member of European Walled Towns from which country of around 80 million inhabitants?
Germany.
Correct. And your second question. What is the only member of European Walled Towns in Northern Ireland? Its nickname, the Maiden City, is a reference to the fact that its city walls were never breached.
Derry.
Is correct. And your third question. The only Slovenian member of European walled towns is also the town that gives its name to a declaration about the importance of walled towns. What is the name of this Slovenian town?
I can't think of one. I can't think of a Slovenian town other than Ljubljana.
Okay, it's not Ljubljana. Anybody else want to buzz in? Probably not early in the game. The answer is Piran. It was the Piran Declaration.
Okay.
And Anne, now you get a pick.
Great. I'll go, probably wrongly, but I'll go to Before Breaking Bad.
Okay, Anne, your 3 questions on Before Breaking Bad. Bryan Cranston played Hal, the father of a child genius, on which sitcom, which ran for 151 episodes between 2000 and 2006?
Malcolm in the Middle.
Correct. Your second question, Anne. Before playing Skylar White, Anna Gunn portrayed Martha Bullock for 21 episodes on which HBO historical drama between 2005 and 2006?
Mad Men?
It's incorrect. We had a buzz from Michael.
Deadwood.
Deadwood is correct.
Oh, very good.
And your final question, Anne. Which actor who played Mike Ehrmantraut in Breaking Bad had previously had a 74-episode stint in the police series Wise Guy, as well as appearances in films such as Airplane and Beverly Hills Cop?
I'm not going to know this one.
Okay, anybody on the buzzer? No, it's Jonathan Banks. And at the end of the first round, Anne and Ian both have 2 points. Joey and Michael both have 3. The Egyptian god Horus had the head of which bird? Joey buzzes in first.
Hawk?
Yep, I think that would do. I've got Falcon. That will do for me. So your pick.
Oh, let's go with long-running women.
So you have 3 questions on winners of the London Marathon women's race. So your first question, which English woman won the London Marathon 3 times? And with her 2003 victory, she set a women's world record of 2 hours, 15 minutes and 25 seconds, which stood for 16 years.
Radcliffe.
It is Paula Radcliffe, yes. Between 1983 and 1988, only Norwegians won the race. Ingrid Christensen won 4 times, and which other woman, who also won the New York City Marathon, won a record 9 times?
Denzel.
Incorrect. Michael, you buzzed.
Greta Weiss.
Greta Weiss is
That's
correct.
it, yeah. W-E-N-Z somewhere in there.
And your final question. 13 times, a runner from Kenya has finished in first place. Who was the first? She won in 1997 and 1999.
Hosguy.
Incorrect. Anybody? I don't see any buzzes. It's Joyce Chepchumba. And we go back to the buzzers. And which former monarch died in exile in Dawn? Michael, you buzzed?
Yeah, Wilhelm II.
Yes, Michael, that's correct. Kaiser Wilhelm II died in exile in the Netherlands. He'd been offered asylum by Churchill and Hitler the previous year. So what subject would you like to pick?
We'll try roguelike.
Okay. Let's hope you're genned up on your computer games. Roguelike is a subgenre of role-playing video games. Which early 90s roguelike was set in the world of Norse mythology and was named after the battle in which Odin, Thor, and Loki and others would die?
Ragnarok.
It is correct. Which popular roguelike was developed and designed by Edmund Macmillan and Florian Himsel? Inspired by the Legend of Zelda games, the game's name comes from a biblical story told in Genesis chapter 22. It's called The Binding of who?
Gilgamesh.
Incorrect. Joey, you've buzzed.
Isaac.
Isaac. The Binding of Isaac is correct for a bonus point to Joey. And your final question, Michael. 2020 action roguelike sees the player control the character Zagreus, seeking to escape his father's realm in the Greek underworld and find his birth mother.
God of War.
Incorrect. Joey, you've buzzed.
Hades.
Hades is correct. Okay, back to the buzzer, and now it's Ian and Anne again. Betelgeuse and Bellatrix are stars in which constellation? Ian, you've buzzed.
Ryan.
Orion is correct. So your picks, please.
I'll try Bridges this time. I had Wolves last time. Let's try Bridges. Yeah.
So your first question. Under the Bridge was a 1998 number 1 hit for All Saints, but originally a 1992 number 13 hit for which American band?
Arcade Fire.
It's not Arcade Fire, Michael.
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Red Hot Chili Peppers is correct. In your second question. In the 1967 song Ode to Billy Joe, the title character jumped off which bridge?
I can hear all the words except for the name of the bridge. It's something like... Hackawani.
It's not Hackawani. Anne buzzed in.
Tallahatchie.
Tallahatchie Bridge, indeed. Bonus point to Anne. And your third question. A song entitled London Bridge appeared on the 2006 album The Duchess by which member of the Black Eyed Peas?
Will.i.am.
Incorrect. Joey?
I think it's going to be a different London Bridge. Let's go with Fergie.
Is correct. A reward for a brave buzz there, Joey. Okay. Anne, I think that leaves you, doesn't it?
It does. And I think I'm going to go with Not That Vegas. And I hope it's all about Liberace.
Nah. No, you have 3 questions related to Las Vegas, New Mexico. So, not that one, the other one.
Ah. So sticking with the New Mexico theme from Breaking Bad.
Yes.
Okay, your first question, Anne. Las Vegas, New Mexico is found on the plains of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, a sub-range of which larger mountain range?
The Sierra Nevadas?
Incorrect. No. It is the Rocky Mountains.
The obvious one.
Your second question. Las Vegas, New Mexico was a lawless place in the Old West. Which notorious dentist lived there with his girlfriend Bent-Nosed Kate?
Erp?
No. Michael?
Doc Holliday.
Doc Holliday is correct. And your third question. By what name were the first volunteer cavalry known in the Spanish-American War? From 1899 onwards, their reunions were held in Las Vegas, New Mexico, with attendees that included Theodore Roosevelt.
Well, they were the Rough Riders.
They were indeed the Rough Riders. And at the end of round 2, Ian has 2 points, Anne has 4 points, and Michael and Joey both have 7 points. Which German electronics equipment manufacturer has a name that means Blue Point? And Joey, you are in first yet again.
Blaupunkt.
Blaupunkt is correct.
Ancient Femmes, please.
Which ancient British woman's burial place is unknown, although it's been claimed that she's buried at Birdlip in Gloucestershire, Stonehenge, and under a platform at King's Cross Station in London.
Boudica?
Boudica is correct. By what name is the 3rd century AD woman whose remains were discovered near an East Sussex beauty spot in 1953 known? She's named after the coastal location at which she was found.
Beachy Head Woman.
Indeed.
Oh.
And your final question. Remains of a 4th century Roman woman of African origin were discovered in York in 1901. She is known by a name that references bangles found in her grave, which are made of which substance?
Maybe Jet?
Incorrect. Anybody else? No, she's known as Ivory Bangle Woman. And we are back on the buzzer. What is the name of the heroine of the Hunger Games series of books? Michael, you buzzed in first.
Katniss Everdeen.
is correct. And so your next pick, Michael.
I'm hoping that East End Boys is about gangsters rather than men in EastEnders, but I'm going to risk it.
Okay,
East End Boys.
It's not really about either.
Oh, well.
It is about men commemorated by blue plaques in the East End of London. So, firstly, a blue plaque on the outside of Kingsley Hall in the East End of London commemorates the stay there in 1931 of which Asian independence leader?
Gandhi.
Is correct. The second question. A blue plaque in Spitalfields commemorates which British artist, 1891 to 1939? He was the inspiration for the character of Lurker in D.H. Lawrence's Women in Love, and Lawrence described his 1916 painting Merry-Go-Round as the best modern painting I have ever seen.
Smith.
Incorrect. Anybody buzzing? Doesn't look like it. It's Mark Gertler.
Ah, jeez, okay.
And your third question. A blue plaque on Walthamstow Marsh Railway Viaduct commemorates the construction of the first all-British triplane, which flew from Walthamstow Marsh in 1909. Which British aviation pioneer designed and built the plane?
De Havilland.
Incorrect. Anybody else? No, the answer is Aliot Varden Rowe, or AV Rowe, Avro. It was the Avro 1. And it's between now Ian and Anne. What dinosaur has a name meaning roof lizard and had a double row of vertical kite-shaped plates?
Is it Stegosaurus?
It is, yeah.
You know what? After East End Boys, let's go with West End Girls, which I'm hoping might put me out of my misery.
It's 3 questions on actresses from London theatre.
Okay.
So your first question, Anne. The first recorded stage performance of which actress was in a 1665 production of Dryden's The Indian Emperor?
Nell Gwyn?
Is correct. The second question. Which English actress and singer starred alongside Noel Coward in Private Lives, both in the West End and on Broadway? The play Noel and Gertie tells of their friendship.
I'm not... Hermione Granger. No, Hermione Gingold.
No, it's not, unfortunately. Okay, it's Gertrude Lawrence. And your final question, Anne. Which British dame holds the record for the most Olivier Awards won by an actress? Her most recent win was for Best Supporting Actress in Twelfth Night in 2016.
It's not it, but I'm going to say Dame Helen Mirren.
It's not Helen Mirren. Anybody else? Joey, buzz in.
Dench?
It is Judi Dench.
Oh! I was like, it can't be Judi Dench. She's like semi-retired now. Oh well.
I guess it was 4 years ago. It's like,
Yeah, that teaches me.
And Ian, you've got the final pick of this round.
Let's go crazy and caveat emptor.
Okay. So, gradatim ferociter, which is Latin for step-by-step ferociously, is the motto of which aerospace company founded by Jeff Bezos?
Oh, okay. Which one is it? Blue Origin.
Is correct.
Oh.
The second question, Ian. Which 3-word Latin phrase meaning God from the machine is a plot device that is used to resolve a seemingly unsolvable problem in a play or novel?
Deus Ex Machina.
Is correct. And your third question. Sic gorgiamus allos subjectatos nunc, meaning we gladly feast on those who would subdue us, is the credo, as per the film version, of which group of characters? They first appeared in a series of cartoons in The New Yorker and later in an eponymous TV series.
The Addams Family.
Is correct.
Hey, I nearly said the Munsters.
At the end of the third round, it's still incredibly tight at the top with Joey on 10 and Michael on 8. Anne and Ian are both jointly third on 5 points. Which small city on the upper river Rhine gave its name to the 1521 edict which outlawed Martin Luther? Joey? Yeah, Firms.
Okay.
Correct. So, Joey, your final pick.
Let's go with blood.
Blood. Okay. Which actor won his second of 3 Best Actor Oscars in the 2007 film There Will Be Blood?
Daniel Day-Lewis.
Correct. The 1932 play Blood Wedding is a tragedy written by which Spanish playwright who is thought to have been executed at the start of the Spanish Civil War in 1936, though his remains have never been found?
Lorca.
Is correct. And your final question. Polycythemia, which can occur as a result of taking the hormone EPO, causes what type of blood cell to be present in excess?
Red.
Correct. So back on the buzzers. Which fashion designer launched the first of his Rive Gauche fashion boutiques in 1966? Anne.
Yves Saint Laurent?
Correct. So your next pick.
Why don't we stay with that theme and go with shops?
Shops in entertainment, for want of better words. So, in which Channel 4 sitcom did Dylan Moran star as the owner of the title shop, and Tamsin Gregg also feature as the owner of the neighbouring shop, Nifty Gifty?
Black Books.
Correct. So your second question. Played by Jim Broadbent, who is the owner of the antique shop on Portobello Road in the 2014 Paddington Bear film and its 2017 sequel?
I don't know. It's something very British and very quaint and very marmalade-y. So I'm just going to say Johnson.
It's not Johnson. Anybody else? No, it is Mr. Gruber.
Yeah, it's German. I hear that.
Yeah.
Hans Gruber. I need to remember it that way. Okay.
And your third question. Which song by the indie rock band Corner Shop, a tribute to a Hindi cinema playback singer, was remixed by Norman Cook and topped the UK singles chart in 1998?
Is it called On the 45?
It's not, I'm afraid, Michael.
Brimful of Asher.
Brimful of Asher is the title. Yeah, and On the 45 is the bit that comes next.
Next, yeah.
Okay. In which movie does a Prime Minister played by Hugh Grant say, and I'm sorry for all the cock-ups, Michael?
Love Actually.
Love Actually is correct. I'm sorry for all the cock-ups. My cabinet are absolute crap. We'll have to do better next year. So your pick.
I have no idea what Solve means, but I don't really want questions on Potters, so I'll have to go for Solve.
Okay. Your 3 questions are on scientists who attended the first Solvay conference in 1911. So, Michael, which Dutch physicist chaired the first Solvay conference? In 1902, it won a Nobel Prize for providing a theoretical explanation for the Zeeman effect.
Hasselbank.
It's not Hasselbank. Anybody? Nope. It's Hendrik Lorentz. Your second question. Which French polymath, known as the last universalist because of his wide-ranging knowledge, conjectured that every simply connected closed 3 manifold is homeomorphic to the 3 sphere, a conjecture that was later proved by Grigori Perelman over a century later.
Poincaré?
Yeah, Henri Poincaré, yeah. And your third question. The only woman to attend the first Solvay conference was subsequently the first woman to be interred in the Pantheon in Paris due to her achievements, where her body lies in a lead-lined coffin. Who was she?
Curie.
Marie Curie is correct. And a quick score check at this point. Anne is on 6, Ian is on 5, Joey 13, Michael 11. So Ian, you are left with Potters.
Let's hope it's nothing to do with Harry Potter.
It isn't.
Good.
Could be.
So your first question. Who won the Turner Prize in 2003 for his ceramic pots and picked up the award as his alter ego, Claire?
I can never remember what the guy's name is. I think Grayson Perry.
It is.
Hey. Whew.
Which ceramicist opened a pottery factory called Etruria in Staffordshire in 1769?
Josiah Wedgwood.
Is correct. And your third and final question. Which British potter who lived in Japan for part of his life established a pottery in St. Ives where he produced ceramics in the tradition of Asian pottery?
I know I've probably seen his name because I've been to St. Ives and been to the Hepworth Museum, but I can't remember.
Okay, that's passed. Joey?
Leech.
It is Bernard Leach, yes.
Rings a bell.
Okay, and at the end of the quiz, Anne has 6 points, Ian has 7, Michael has 11, and Joey has 14.
Hey.
So well played all. So we add the points gained by the players in this quiz to the overall Quiz Omnium standings, and now the table looks like this. Joey has 20 points, Michael is in second with 18, Ian has 16 points, and Anne has 6. Next up is speed. The competitors will face the same questions in a time trial. Who can answer the quickest and who can pick up bonus points in the specialist sprints? Can Joey hold on to his lead and win the Quiz Omnium? We'll find out when we play speed.